We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey there, Star Wars fans and action figure collectors. We've got another vintage collection action figure review for you today. It's the Clone Trooper 501st Legion, based on the appearance in the flashbacks of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is just a nice figure to get out on a card. It's the exact same Clone Trooper that came in the 4-pack, the Hasbro Pulse semi-exclusive, I guess, 4-pack that came with the 332nd and then 2 regular shiny Phase 2 clones. Yeah, this is great for the army builders, those that want to troop build their clones. So they've got the 501st clones. It's still strange to me the sort of the color choice, or whether it's simply lighting when they shot. But the choice of blues they used in those flashbacks of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and even in The Mandalorian, I can't remember in the flashbacks whether they used that same. It's almost more of an aquamarine as opposed to the sort of the rich royal blue that we know of the 501st Legion. So yeah, I'm glad they went this route with the paint applications to make him that sort of rich royal blue. It's much nicer, much more accurate in my opinion. Because that looks more like House's color scheme. But still, nice image on the card. I do like it. On the back here, VC240. So again, they're keeping the numbering from a previous release of the 501st, just putting him on a new card. And yeah, this one's much better in my opinion. I've avoided clones up until this build. I wasn't a fan of the previous iteration of the TVC Clone Troopers, but I'll talk about that a little bit more another time. Let's bust this open and have a look. Alright, and here we have the Trooper out of the packaging. He's looking good. I knew it was, having already got the 4-pack figure. But yeah, really happy to see this one. And given that they only had one of the 501st in that 4-pack, I had to get a second. You've got to have at least 2, don't you? So weapon-wise, it comes with the longer blaster rifle. Can never remember the names of these things these days. DC-15, I think, from memory. And then the smaller rifle, it's DC-15S. I can't remember which one's which. So yeah, we've seen them before. Also, just have on hand here, I do have the KR stand, action figure stand. You can get these at kesselrunhair.com. You buy 40 of them, you get 10 for free. And you get 5 free stands with any action figure pre-order as well at kesselrunhair.com. Just a shameless little plug there. But let's get a look at this guy. See, paint applications are nice and clean. I think they've absolutely nailed the sculpt. The 501st Trooper was the only figure that I'd skipped on or missed during TVC 1.0. And I sort of grew to dislike the sculpt, when they transitioned the Phase 1 body and just put an oversized Phase 2 helmet on it. I just wasn't too keen on those. I have had a few exceptions over the years. But yeah, I feel like Hasbro's nailed it this time. And just look at the gloss sort of shining on the visor, that reflection. And it's not picking it up on the blue or the white. Just the nice sheen to the visor. A little bit there on the shoulder bells as well. It'd be probably good if that was a matte color as well, but that's fine. But yeah, just that extra little bit of gloss paint on the visor is really nice. It sort of catches the light. Reflectiveness, whereas it's not prominent over the rest of the armor. That's cool. So I do love the blue markings, the sort of the chips and stuff in the paint. Looks good. Sort of only present through the chest, through the back. Yeah, it's just such a nice sculpt. You know, it's you know, I feel like they're finally hit the A game with the clones. It just proportion looks good, which is something they've struggled with for a while. I think the last sort of real proportionate looking Phase 2 clones were back in the Saga Legends days. It's when they had the big antennas on the back as well. But yeah, the blue line work, you can sort of see some scratching and stuff on the paint up the legs as well, which is cool. Nice little bit of extra detail and weathering. I mean, I'd love to, absolutely love to get a squadron of these. I reckon that'd be fantastic. And yeah, if that Anakin 3-pack that's starting to hit now in the US, I've seen through Hasbro Pulse, if that ever sees the light of day down here in Australia, it probably won't. I would love to get a hold of the Anakin, the dark side Anakin, to lead these guys. But yeah, it's probably not going to happen, unfortunately. We just don't get them here in Australia. But yeah, he's nice. We'll go through the articulation. He's got the barbell in the head. If we pop the head off. And I do love that the helmets are just sculpted on. I know when they first did the Phase 2s for Andor, they did the removable helmet, but now they've gone the solid helmet, which I think is a necessity just for a standard grunt like this guy. Whereas if it's a character, I can sort of say, yeah, you can do the removable helmet, but I'd much prefer a swap out head. Ball hinges in the shoulders. You've got that sort of shoulder bell is a nice softer plastic, so that can move up. Ball hinges in the elbows. Ball hinges in the wrists. On the left wrist, you've got an in and out hinge. On the right, you've got an up and down hinge. Get a little bit of movement through the torso there, the ball joint. There seems to be a little bit of a swivel at the waist too. So a little bit of movement there. Got the barbell thighs, which are very nice. Got the swivels at the thighs too. Ball hinges in the knees. That's a nice tight joint. Get a nice 90-degree bend there. You have the ball hinge in the ankles and that rocker joint in the feet as well. So very, very nicely articulated. Let's try him on the stand. Again, these stands have 3 different peg sizes, predominantly for Black Series, Vintage, and then the sort of more dainty, sort of skinny figures, which sometimes are probably the least used peg, but I've still got a few figures that have used that, and I think the sort of standard vintage size peg should work on this guy. And there we go. Just to show you what you can do with the stands, a good balance. Doing some cool action poses. Yeah, good counterbalance with the size of the 3 3/4 inch figures. You know, just slightly step them down a little bit if you want to get them in a little sort of a wider stance. It works well. So I'm very happy to have another one of these clones in the collection. Very nice. The sort of Revenge of the Sith section, or even with the Clone Wars. Got a bit of a Siege of Mandalore lineup going. So I hope you've enjoyed checking out the 501st Clone Trooper from the flashbacks of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but a nice multi-used Clone Trooper action figure. You can put it in a range of displays. So yeah, appreciate you watching. Thanks for checking it out. Drop a comment down below. And again, Kessel Run Hair, get your pre-orders, get your KR stands, and that'll be awesome. See you on the next one. Till then, may the Force be with you always.